Welcome. Take a deep breath. Thanks for joining me today. I've already pre-shuffled the cards here. I am going to just tune into the collective energy, to any downloads, to any actionable steps, to any incoming messages. Continue to shuffle a bit more here as I tune into the energy of those that are tuning into the video. The Chariot. The first card is the Chariot. I'm gonna pull just a bit more to see if there's anything that can clarify this Chariot or, give more clarity. Five of Swords. Five of Swords. Okay. Maybe there was some sort of argument, some sort of misunderstanding. You could be disappointed, or someone around you is disappointed in you. But with the Chariot here, it's kind of giving like the disappointment is an outcome of correction. And what I mean by that is the Chariot energy is giving a sort of self-mastery, and it is feeling like this is around you or us, where this self-mastery, this awareness of ourselves, this good and evil, this self-responsibility for the world we create, the world we experience. We recognize our creative power, and so we act very intentionally so as to always embody that self-responsibility to take your life into your own hands and to perhaps have difficult conversations with people, or do the hard thing, right? It's like not a good feeling when you have to give somebody some feedback, or maybe someone sort of crossed your boundary and you actually had to speak it up and say, like, hey, I don't like how that feels. And maybe that's not how you normally have. Maybe in the past you've been sort of the passive people pleaser. And so this card feels like, in combination with the Chariot, that maybe you're disappointing people right now because you're behaving like this master, this self-master, who in the past maybe one or the other was just controlling you, and now you're stepping into that self-responsibility, and you are going for what you want, having difficult conversations, doing more difficult things for yourself to put you in a better place tomorrow. And so you're kind of creating your wave, and family members or people that were around you when you were not in your self-mastery, maybe feeling a little booty hurt. And so I'm digging that. We have the self-mastery, we have the outcome of correction. Just like when you start doing better in your life, everybody can't come along, and sometimes we expend a lot of energy hoping that people can join this self-mastery journey with us because we love them and they're a part of our past. But in a sense, that is a pitfall to an extent. I think compassion is great. You can be compassionate without self-sacrifice, and so only you can discover that, how that feels within, and what your intention is behind your relationships. But as you're stepping into this self-mastery, all right, let's keep pulling. King of Pentacles. Okay, we have a King of Pentacles. He's given a little bit like, I don't want to say arrogant, but it could be, and I'll pull some more, but there is like a pride, which I would in the high end interpret as just confident, self-assured, feels very capable of taking on anything and performing it to the highest extent, like making it come to fruition and making it function really well and intelligent, and sort of getting the outcome too of knowing his worth, and knowing that his worth comes from what he gives and how he helps create, and how he helps create better systems. And this could be for a woman too. I'm saying he in context of myself, but this could also just be you as a woman stepping into her self-capability. And I always bring it back to self, which is, how do I embody the feelings of the cards within myself first before seeing it out in the 3D. But I don't like to put aside the fact that some of these energies in the readings are definitely pulling out certain events, people, things that are happening in our reality that are very correct. Okay, went on a tangent there. We have King of Pentacles. Okay, let's pull, because I want to see if there's, I was feeling with this confidence, like just recognizing self-value, if there was a pitfall to that, or if there was something to be aware of as we step into this energy of self-responsibility and having hard conversations and trusting ourselves more. We're gaining this momentum to just feel this wholeness, to feel like we can do anything we put our mind to. What is the pitfall, or is there anything that we need to know? Okay, Seven of Cups, Seven of Cups, Seven of Cups. I do that every time with the 777. I always say 777. I say it 3 times. I think that's just a lucky. Okay. I mean, this feels like more of the same. This feels like anything is possible. Like with this newfound power, you can, with your, anything you put your mind to, anything you focus your attention on, you really feel this ability to make it happen in this phase. And so let me clarify that card, because just pointing out that it feels like confirmation on my King of Pentacles, saying you feel this sense of capability now, and you're looking forward to exercising it. You're exercising it, you recognize your power. You're saying, so I want to emphasize here that this kind of stuff right here, Seven of Cups, you see how every single cup is different? To me, it's saying something like there's this paradigm of work in our 3D reality where we either are working or we're not. And in the higher world, in the higher way of seeing, the higher mind, I feel that we recognize that we're always creating. That never stops. So every moment we're always creating something. And so that's just a part of being like awake, being alive, is we're constantly affirming and like creating a reality. And it extends, that can extend into projects, into hobbies, into all these different ways of expressing our creative force, which is always on. You know, we're always, but the 3D paradigm, the matrix, however you want to refer to it, has taken that and sort of perverted it, inverted it, and said, well, we're going to make you use your creative force in such a specified container, and it's going to create, like, you're going to have bad feelings about work, you're going to want to not go to work, or you're going to either be like a high achiever and work a lot. And so then we have this sort of twisted relationship with work, where as we step into self-responsibility, we recognize that we're all of a sudden just like awake, creatively working on all of our dreams, because we have taken our power back. We're experiencing this self-reliancy and accepting that law of creation, that we are constantly creating. There's no end. You can't like put that in a 1-0 thing. I think you know what I'm saying. Okay, let me just keep it pushing here and see. I think a couple cards here, maybe one or two. Another King of Cups. Okay, this is just kind of giving, I guess I was looking for some bad news or something to watch out for, but other than apparently disappointing a few people, maybe disappointing yourself from having to walk away from certain things, which can be hard to do, we're stepping into King of Pentacles, self-capability, self-reliancy. We're able to pick up and realize that we're creating multiple things at once. We always are. But now as we step into that knowledge, we're creating more specifically and beautifully. And this King of Cups is giving just self-mastery, emotions. You're also, not only are you stepping into this physical mastery of just maybe like money, success, like luxury, not luxury, but like you know where you feel really secure in your physical life. And this one feels like you're feeling really secure in your inner life, and you're able to transmute emotions in real time, and you're able to not identify with the world around you so much. You more so step into self-awareness and attribute a healing narrative in your mind about the world, so that you can feel empowered in yourself, and you just have the self-mastery of emotions. You feel very grounded in your heart, in yourself, in your body, in your mind, in your body. That's feeling really good. I mean, I guess we'll pull just one more and see what happens. sometimes I like to use the bottom of the deck to switch things up a little bit. Okay, we have the Six of Cups, more cup energy. Interesting. We have the Seven of Cups as well. Six of Cups, good news. It still feels, this is a very light reading today. Very good, I guess. I mean, that goes to tell you how, I guess sometimes I'm like, I like good readings, but then in the same breath, like, I like to know what to do if there's some bull crap around me. No, but this feels good. This feels like Six of Cups. I don't know, this maybe feels like because you're accepting this self-responsibility so intensely, and you have stepped into this self-reliance, self-capability, and you are stepping into emotional mastery, and you're standing up for yourself, and you're setting your boundaries, and you're embodying who you are in the now moment, all of your values, all of you're not trying to people please as much or minimize yourself. You're being very clear. You feel like you deserve it, and you respect other people as well. Because you're doing all this and you're sort of tapping into this creative force more consciously, this feels like a return to your child, to return to innocence, because I think that, and I will wrap up with this, is there's a point when, from when we grow up, the spirit of who we are is fully awakened, and it's pretty much fully awakened up to the age of, I guess it depends, but I would say maybe around 7 years old. And around that time is when our preferences start to really develop, and we start to kind of minimize who we are, because we've learned kind of the theme of this Mercury retrograde, these mechanisms. And so as you develop the self-mastery, this is actually allowing the spirit of who you are to really just come out, because you're secure again. When you were secure in your childhood, you know, you had people around you that you looked up to, that took care of you, and then suddenly you had to go into figuring it out for yourself mode. You develop the mechanisms, but now you're secure again because you're doing the spiritual work, the emotional work, the physical work, and doing that and inviting that security allows and invites your inner child, or the spirit of who you are, beyond these bodies, these instruments that we use to like express that spirit of who we are. When we're born, we have it. We have this this unique thing about us, and we learn a lot of the other stuff. And when we tap into that uniqueness, we are more capable of using that creative force consciously to create thoughtful, beautiful things in our lives, relationships, hobbies, physical goals, spiritual goals, business goals, all while having fun, while stepping into this spirit of returning to yourself. And it doesn't have to be within the paradigm of work anymore, like, oh my god, I have to do all this for my business, or I have to. It's more like, no, this is a natural expression of who I am, who I've always been. And by accepting the self-responsibility over myself, I tell my inner child that he's safe to come out and play and create.